Hello there. Quite a few videos I make are, if I were to say, rather impulsive. I'm kind of playing with the words, or situations, or the way things could be. So maybe as a reflection, so you can get an idea of what is impulsive here. That's the thing. So, spur of the moment. By that I mean they could be based on. It's like this video is not. I'm not touching a certain subject. Now, as this video is based on my interactions, online and offline, interact with people all the times, and based on them, and things run through my mind, and like, okay, let's talk about this. There's no getting ready and stuff like that, or editing, just like that, and it's for the sake, on purpose. It's just the way it is. It's a reflection of the very thing called as autism. If it's making sense, if you know what I'm talking about, if you can process things, you're seeing what, okay, and it's just like how you work out. If you have the ability to know, work a person out if they have autism or not, or anything else they have, okay, they have dyslexia, or they have ADHD, ADD, la la la. That's up to you. So if you're observing me, if you're observing the person, you would know, you can read a lot more than, well, as they say, what meets the eye. And this is, in a way, I mean, kind of a bit of a struggle to portray it that way, or present it, or reflect it, because when people don't really realize things. I made videos about introduction kind of thing, basic lump sum autism before, and kind of different angles, different perspectives. And then recently I made video all kind of disorders that could be related or surround ASD. I'm not just saying autism, the whole spectrum. Autism itself is different from ASD. As if you're city versus district, or that depends on different places. New York City versus New York District, as it is, or in UK case county, boroughs, same name. Fulham borough versus Fulham and Hammersmith county area, borough, I mean, so they are different. It's like autism reflects or represents a different thing as compared to autism spectrum disorders. So I made videos on them, all those disorders, and then recently I made a video about autism versus Asperger. All those different perspectives, different angles. There's this side of it I can understand. Maybe my videos are a bit rather boring, dullish, monotonous. Name of the game. Does maybe get up and down, because maybe I'm not the right person. That's how it makes you feel. But that's the irony. This is autism. If you want to know the real autism, this is autism. This is a portrayal, reflection of what it's like. If you want to go for some sugar-coated, disguised, I mean the portrayal, because that's when you go to non-autistics and the one who pretend to be talking about autism. Because the thing is, I am autism, alright? That's the irony. I am. They aren't. I'm talking about I am autism. So how our mind works, how my mind works, how my body works based on that and all that stuff, this is what it's about here. The hardcore, original, raw, pure portrayal and reflection of autism. One of the reasons, I mean, I think at times I think of putting maybe a nice dress, this and that, bling up a bit and whatnot stuff. I don't, on purpose. Now this is one of the things I've been hearing from quite a few people, like, they have to live according to their surroundings, according to the place. That's the irony. That's not autism, and that's ABA. Now I don't live according to my surroundings, because otherwise I'm gonna be disguising the real thing. I'm not making acceptable. Now the thing is, okay, I'm not out there just wearing boxers or naked either. Now I know that's offensive or obscenity. I know that. I have this much understanding, and I think the majority of autistics say that's the thing. Even if I want to, like, as well, I want to be a nudist. Nudity is freedom, sense of freedom. As much as I would like it, I can't talk about. That's the thing. Even with severe autism, there's what forms the one portrayed in the Rain Man, and was a portrayal of real life autistic someone, Kim Peek. He died recently. Now rest in peace. He would know that too. The only ones that you don't know anything about, much understand about, is the ones non-verbal, so-called. That's another thing. I'm not sure how often they are actually non-verbal, how often they are. Because even in our case, there's at times a struggle to express oneself, struggle to say what one wants to say, because knowing the other person won't understand. So it's non-verbal at 10 or non-verbal at 40, 50, 60. Because you know the other person won't understand it, so might as well just shut up. So, but he wasn't non-verbal, he could talk. The documentary I was talking about, I suddenly forgot the name of the twin autistic Savant sisters. Neither of them were non-verbal, yet they were severely autistic, living a challenging life. So that's the thing. So non-verbal is something different. As to dyslexia, I have dyslexia, mild dyslexia. In the way I'm mild savant as well, and my memory works like hell. I'm not. So these are the differences. You got to understand the difference. Now that's the thing. Someone is like saying that I'm not a person with a disability because I can talk and do this. Yeah, majority of autistics can't do this. Even high functioning autistics, as per. Now this is something you got to work out, understand things, observe things. You can't, as compared to being expecting to be mouth-fed. This is Asperger. As per the DSM, I'm not making things up, and I'm not coming up with labels. I'm not confusing things. It's the way things are. It's how things have been. It's not that these labels are not set by blah 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 blah. These are set by AP, American Psychiatric Association. That's just the standard, which is called as DSM, Diagnostic and Statistic Manual for Mental Disorders. So these are the confusions out there, and they make things all the more confusing because that's the thing. I am Asperger. Which is a form of, as it was in my report as well, my diagnosis report, which is a form of high functioning autism. Now these things are there's no question they are confusing, but when I've gone through them, and if you have been bothered, I have the stamina, I can relate with that, to go through my videos. As I've been saying over and again, PDA is quite same as ODD. Pathological demand avoidance is same as how much time it takes to do this. It's quite same as oppositional defiance disorder. Now I have to remember them, I have to recall them. Only PDA is not recognized, officially and legally recognized, and the person who's trying to is not resting in peace. ODD is symptoms almost same. ODD is just a bit proper, heavier, hardcore. But then it's the same as a very slight difference from CD as in conduct disorder, where CD is more like that's when it goes a bit too far and it becomes illegal. But in between them is IED, intermittent explosive disorders. That's the thing. Not that PDA shouldn't exist. It's a milder version as to ODD. And then when I see that, I read those articles and research about them, it makes sense how these things work. They're confusing nevertheless, but that's the way they are. and they are there. Dyslexia is to say so, almost the same or very slightly different from dyscalculia. Dyslexia about language, dyscalculia about numbers. There could be people who are now, if I were to say, I may have dyscalculia because I struggle with basic arithmetics, plus, minus, they confuse me on number keeping track of, but yet I'll be, that's the thing, so I'm with language, mildly, they confuse me at times, hard to read them, concentrate, and it depends on how it's written as well. So at the same time, dyslexia and dyscalculia. Now that's the thing, some people may have only problem with numbers and not with language. Some people may have problem with language, not with numbers. Now I have problem with basic arithmetics. It confuses me. I have to tell myself, well, 1 plus 1 is 2. So 1 plus 2 is 1. 1 plus 1, what? But if I think if I were to be given that same thing in algebraic expression, I think I'll be able to understand that better. A plus b square. A square plus b square plus 2ab. I'm not sure I got it right because it's spur on the moment. I'm just seeing if I understand the language. I don't know. I haven't done that in ages. I want to get back to it, but so many things get in the way. Plus, but it's just like, am I speaking that language? So it means I understand that language. Okay, I understand. As compared to for many, algebra is a whip pain. Yeah. So these are the differences. And now when I read through them, now it's only in DSM-5 that they have leveled them, high functioning versus low functioning, as they have done to everything. Not just autism, because it's just not just ASD that is DSM. It's a whole lot of disorders and disabilities. Whole lot of them. So they've done to it every other thing, which wasn't part of DSM-4. Kind of funny to remember. I'm not sure. It was in the 80s when they worked out DSM-4, and in 2013, DSM-5. It was in 80s when ADD became part of it, and within 83 it became part of it. 87 it was taken out of DSM. Now I'm going to all this garbage. It's gibberish. Yak. I know what you mean, but that's how it works. That's how it was. So all this doesn't mean that because I'm now that's it is Asperger. Asperger is defined differently from autism. As per to the American Psychiatric Association, of which there is over 30,000, I can't remember, 36 something thousand members, psychiatrists from all over the world. On the other hand, you can go to a local psychiatrist and psychology and come up with all the shenanigans, but I don't go to them. I'm not talking about that. I study from the autism source, and that's a problem here. I mean, people come with their own interpretation. Understandably, they're confused. It's for you to study, for you to understand those things, not just make things up and just personal opinions. So Asperger as to them, and then there's ICD, International Classifications of Disorder, by WHO, World Health Organization. Shall I keep you take you info dump you? Because that's the thing, that's how it works. And psychiatrists internationally, because I've read all, use both. At times there's a difference, they make a difference, one based on for research, one they use for research work, and one for practice, the reality and stuff. So Asperger is me. I can talk. I couldn't before. I had to do my own therapy. I had to build up expressions. I had to come up use the word. I remember in my 20s exactly what an average 20 would be going through. What am I here for? What is my purpose? Is the purpose of my life? Not that I don't struggle with job. I struggle, and that's why I have cases going on, which I've been talking about, and using references from other cases as well. Employment tribunal. There's cases going on. So it's not that people like me don't struggle with jobs. They struggle. It took me dozens of attempts to get a job, and then dozen jobs I could keep up with struggle. And this is typical for a person with high functioning autism, aka Asperger. So when you say like the many people who don't know much about things and then come up with things, maybe you should take things under consideration. So mine is Asperger. I can talk. Yeah, I didn't have um, non-verbal situations. No, I didn't. So that doesn't mean I don't have Asperger. Mine isn't direct dyslexia, full-on dyslexia. Mine is mild dyslexia, which, to not so far as to my understanding, is a byproduct of ADHD. I struggle concentrating on things, depends on how it's done. Where there's a book, kind of funny. First time I was in the right environment, but I was given this book, The Alchemist. I'm not sure how many of you heard of it, and I was struggling reading because I wasn't in the right environment. Couldn't concentrate. Afterwards, I somehow ran into it myself anyway, and I read it, and boy, that was over 10 years ago. And since then, I'm really able to forget it. Boy, mind-blowing stuff. But that's the thing. In this case, it wasn't even about how it was written. It was about wasn't in the right environment to concentrate on the book. And next thing, I just swallowed it. I just read it, and I couldn't stop. So I may not have full-on dyslexia, but I have a dyslexia, mild dyslexia. Things get confusing for me. I have to struggle reading at times. The words run in front of me. This is how it is. I have to concentrate, full-on concentrate. So that's the thing when they say, again, I made a video ages ago. Do I look like an autistic? I don't look like an autistic. Now I'm gonna be extreme, a bit harsher. Okay, I don't look like. Is that what you mean, amigo? Because that's how Stephen Hawking looked like as well. Well, nothing official about him was autistic. Is that what you mean? Is that the portrayal? Now again, I think it was in that video when I mentioned about how it is polarizing the situation that majority, and I think it's minority of autistics are low functioning or severe autistics. Majority is high functioning. But the thing is, those organizations that try to sell shenanigans on you and stuff use that as a poster boy image for autistics. And irony is, this is where the people, now the organizations that sell stuff on you, which you jump at, and they make fortunes out of it. A whole lot of sympathetic billion. I mean, those organizations they are in 100,000. These are CEOs. And their staff, employed staff, as compared to the voluntary staff, autistics are actually just voluntarily there. They're not paid to do things there. There's non-autistic that get paid to do what they do there. Majority. So in that case, majority of adult severe autistics have a thing against non-severe autistics, high functioning autistic, that we are out there. We're not portraying them, we're not talking about them, we're not representing them. How polarized. They have a problem with us, and like we have a problem with you because people are talking about you and they think we are not autistic. You don't look autistic. Ironic. Now again, it's reminding me to going back to the thing the way it is referred to about Asperger, like I don't have a language problem. No, I don't. I never even said I did. I have a bit of stuttering and stammering. That's not non-verbal situation. That's different. And I have a bit of dyslexia. I have to struggle at times to read things and stuff. So I don't have language problem. I had problem with expressing myself. I picked up things from here and there, how to express myself, how to use words to express myself. I didn't have that before. I used to ask people to help me with that. You know, that's in my mid and late teens. I used to, and now I find, now I look back and reflects upon me what exactly it was. I used to struggle expressing myself. I couldn't tell a headache from a migraine. And when I would be saying migraine, I would looked at like attention seeker, because I don't look like I have migraine. And I thought I have migraine, many other things. So yeah, I don't have language problem and I don't have intellectual disability. I have capabilities. So I don't have problem with intellectual situations as compared to those severe autistics have. They struggle. To say so, I'm not sure one of the examples that I know how to control my language. Now again, that's the thing. It connects with Tourette. You. I'm not doing that. I'm not blurting inappropriate phrases, sentences, and expressions. Now that would harshly discriminate them, the one with Tourette syndrome. I'm not doing that. I don't end up saying inappropriate things at the wrong places, la la la, because I somehow know how to filter myself, how to censor myself. Even though if it's a struggle, at times I don't say anything much. I have a struggle with communicating with people at times, quite often, with people I love. It hurts. But I disguise myself, I mask myself, I shut myself. Because if I were to say things, I'll be very, very blunt, very abrupt, explicit. I'm not going to be able to express myself without using colorful language. Now, I kind of let out a bit for the sakes, for example. So these are things that are still in my day-to-day challenges. People speak too loud, too low is a struggle for me for my hearing. Too fast, too slow. If they are too slow, I will lose them. Too fast. Sorry, what did you just say? So not that I don't have challenges, not that I don't struggle with day-to-day life. People use words excessively. They are my triggers. Man, there's loads of words that could trigger me. I have PTSDs of the way I grew up, the way I saw the culture, the surrounding, everything around, and like considering the lack of an understanding of this whole 9 yards now, let alone 4 years ago or 40 years ago, let alone then. So yeah, they built up a pile of PTSDs up me, which is triggered by triggers. And triggers could be your voice, and considering I remember things, it's all fed. Voice, vocals, face expressions, tone, faces, they could be triggered. I struggle to deal with them situations. I struggle to deal with people. It gets confused in my head at times. Not that I don't struggle with everyday life. I think I've said it all. Nothing in my mind anymore at the moment I can say, but it's like, I know, a bit chaotic, but I was interacting with some people, and it occurred to me that as it is in general word, people who don't do what I do, I do this page and these videos for awareness, and I know I have to, that's why I end up like this, disguise myself or mask myself in order to be acceptable or understandable by the people who don't understand much about it. They don't care to read and la la la. So I have to make it like that. I'm not sure how successful I am at the moment. Don't feel like much, but I do that. I'm very active on social media, trying to do whatever, wherever, a penny worth, a pound worth, a grand worth, whatever. I do whatever I could to raise awareness, la 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 la, and understand, develop understanding. And it's like I see emails and notifications, and I see notifications on my Facebook, and every time I see it's like this, because those emails are like, could be from people, different people, and it's like they could use the words, the blah, this triggers all over the place. And I have to prepare myself to read them. I have to prepare myself to tap on those alerts and stuff. But how is the other person going to talk to me now? What words they could use that could trigger the hell out of me on the spot? I could feel dizzy. Could feel absolutely enraged. La la la. I could end up saying things la 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 la. So I understand that, and that helps me understand this compared to majority of high functioning autistics that can't do this, that freak out even picking up the phone. I struggle with that, but I do that. Somehow, and I'm gonna say somehow, there's a thing, when I mention I have a disability, when I mention I suffer from anxiety and prescribe medications for it, that does make me feel less mentally. That does make me, that hurt my ego. that does hurt. I'm talking about my interaction with the citizens and residents and people in the United Kingdom, whatever my there's no despite what I've been saying my crowdfunding video, despite the rights, despite the Equality Act 2010, despite the Autism Act 2009, there's no as such thing as right. I mean, I think our rights are same as our disability hidden. So it's the challenge, everyday challenge. And yes, they are the ones who make you feel impotent. You're not a man. You suffer from anxiety? Oh, you're not man. Yeah, good. Yeah, I have to fight it. And without, it's a struggle all over the place with the police, with the courts, with the government, blah, 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 and with the people who are working for them, civil servants, hospital staff, NHS scandals are there, autistic children, and there was one kid that was they just got out of being 14 years under NHS treatment, NAS scandal. Not sure you all know. This is all over the place, and I fight them all the time. I fight for you severe autistics, I fight for the non-severe autistics, I fight for dyslexics, I fight for Tourette's, sometimes I also fight for Down, la la la. So it doesn't mean that I don't have challenges, it doesn't mean I don't have a disability, it doesn't mean that I don't live a challenged life every day. It doesn't, because I'm doing these videos doesn't mean